We're definitely not going to give Steve Kerr all the credit because the chemistry and everything was already there.
I
Everything was
mean,
already
well,
put
I'm
together.
saying, okay.
Hold on. I'm saying you got to give Mark Jackson some props and some credit for that because Steve Kerr inherited a good team already. Mark Jackson put the foundation down there. Steve Kerr just released them.
More leadership had to be put into that for those guys to get over the hump of the first and second round to make it to the Western Conference Finals and have that phenomenal season as they did in 2015.
Good. I give him his props this year. Definitely give him his props this year.
Being with the Warriors, a team that you picked, you actually had them as the eighth seed.
Actually, was the only one, I believe, was the only one on here that picked the Warriors also. Even though the Warriors is in the play-in tournament. But
don't lose tomorrow. But they
guess who they gotta face? They gotta face the Los Angeles Lakers, who was holding the number 2 spot, dropped to the 7th spot.
Got that Lake show on them, man.
Me personally, this is one of the most dangerous teams the Lakers are gonna have to face, which is the Warriors, because nobody suspected the Warriors to be where they at right now today, and to be playing the Los Angeles Lakers. So I hope the Lakers don't come into this game underestimating the Warriors. I think the only one is not underestimating them is LeBron. He's the only one not going to underestimate them. The rest of the team better not underestimate the Warriors because the Warriors fought to get where they at. And they lost their big man in the process and still made it. So Laker fans, you better look out. Even though I know y'all got a second chance, I believe you got a second chance at the 7th spot.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Which I explain a little bit. Right. Yeah. Which we're gonna explain a little later when we get into the play-in playoff tournament. We're gonna explain that a little bit more. But as I'm saying, the Lakers better not come in and take lightly to the Warriors because the Warriors is not playing. Because think about this, y'all. The Warriors have nothing to lose. The Lakers have everything to lose. That's the big thing. When you're fighting a team who has nothing to lose, they come in with all of it. They come in with everything they got. So I don't know. I don't know about you Laker fans, but y'all tell me.
Yeah, especially within the beginning of the season when the Warriors definitely were not looking like they were going to even make the playoffs. And now we're towards the end of the season and, they made the playoffs.
I'll give you one better, Rizzo.
Right. We cannot underestimate them.
I'll give you one better. No one thought they was going to make it without 2 people. They didn't think they was going to make it without Thompson and without Durant. Everybody didn't see them making it. Durant left them. Thompson has been out 2 years, and nobody's seen him in the playoff. I told y'all they are going to be a dangerous team. As long as they got Steph Curry on that team and he's healthy, they're a dangerous team.
And like you said, they have nothing to lose. So it's like if they lose, oh, well, we'll try again next year. We'll be better next year once everybody's healthy. So that's a dangerous team to go up against, especially when the Lakers, we're thinking, oh, we're the Lakers. We're the defending champions. We're definitely going to beat the Warriors. It's definitely not like that. As a Laker fan, I'm just hoping AD, LeBron are healthy because without those two, there's absolutely no way we can win a championship. Well, we can proceed through the playoffs.
If Andrew Wiggins wake up and play, the Warriors is probably going to beat the Lakers. But he's going to have to show up. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be one of the key that he's going to have to show up because of the fact they can put all 5 of their players on Steph Curry and let the rest of y'all beat them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is going to have to step up. I mean, Draymond going to do Draymond. Draymond going to beat Draymond. Draymond finna frustrate the hell out of AD and LeBron to try to get them in foul trouble. He's going to frustrate the hell out of them. The rest of the core is going to have to show up to be able to beat the Los Angeles Lakers. That's just it. If they don't show up, only thing you got is Steph Curry.
I think that another guy we're not talking about, Poole.
Poole.
Yeah, Poole. He's been balling pretty good. I think last game or something like that, or the game before they played the Grizzlies, he dropped like 38 points, if
I
I'm
think
not
he's been
mistaken or
balling all
something.
year. But when you're talking about
Yeah, he's
the
been under the
Warriors,
radar.
right? When you talk about the Warriors, you're only talking about Steph, Thompson, and Draymond. You're not talking about the other supporting cast. So he's been balling all year, helping Steph out. But it's just because he's on the Warriors, his name is not going to be mentioned. That's all.
It's definitely going to take a lot of role players. Another guy is going to be how is Kevin Looney going to play? Uh, is he going to be the a guy that he's been in past past playoff runs? Is he going to be that guy? So we will have to see. Um, like I said, I think the Lakers got the better overall team. Lakers shouldn't be in its position, but we'll have to see. But I want to ask this question because this is on my mind. Speaking of the Warriors, right now, did this year prove Steve Kerr's coaching ability? Now, the first couple of years, let's just be honest, you know, I don't want to. He's going to go down as a Hall of Fame coach, but the first couple of years, he had some of the best, and I repeat, some of the best stars, role players, some of the best teams that will go down in NBA history. Let's not forget that We Believe team, like Draymond stated, he said he thought that this team was better than his We Believe team. But getting straight to the point, Steve Kerr has coached Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry. Let's not forget how big of a role player Draymond Green is. So my question is, does this year totally prove Steve's current coaching ability with only having one star throughout the year, making it to the eighth seed? What do you guys think?
Let me ask you a question. Let me give you this right here, and this gonna answer your question. Is Lou a good coach? Tyronn Lue?
I think he is a good coach.
He's not a good coach unless he got LeBron and AD and all them playing. He's terrible. You see how they
Hold
on.
He's in LA with the Clippers.
Hold on. This is why he went from 2 to 7. Okay, not a good coach. All right. Is Steve Nash a good coach?
I mean, it has yet to be seen.
I'll wait.
I mean,
he's
played with some of the best.
As long as you got Durant, Kyrie, and the Beard Man on your team, you don't need no coach. They the one basically running the team. As long as you got LeBron and AD, they basically running the team. Now, yes, to answer your question, does Steve Kerr prove that he's a decent coach right now? Yes. When he had Durant, when he had Thompson, Draymond, and Steph, he not the coach. He can sit back and lean back and do what he want to do. Go get him some lunch. Matter of fact, run home right quick. Just check on the kids, the wife and the kids, make sure they's all right, because they was going to win anyway. When you got all those stars playing like that, you don't have to coach them. That's my question. Tyronn Lue showed when LeBron and AD went down, he's not a good coach. Couldn't hold it together.
You talking about Frank Vogel? You saying the wrong name.
I said Tyronn Lue, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, folks. Tyronn Lue is with the Clippers and not the Lakers, but he was with the Lakers last year. I'm sorry.
No, he was with the Clippers last year.
Then who is he with now?
He's with the Clippers. He was an assistant coach for the Clippers.
Okay, what I'm just saying. My fault. I'm thinking of LeBron. I'm thinking of Tyronn Lue with LeBron. But anyway, Frank Vogel, you're not a good coach. Okay. Wow. My thing is when your star players go down, you couldn't maintain that second spot, at least the fourth. At least hold on to at least the second, third, or fourth spot. Y'all dropped all the way down to the 7th spot. Okay, to the 7th spot. You are now Steve Nash. It's only 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 games. He didn't have all 3 of them in there. But as long as he had 1 of them in there, they maintain. They maintain as long as he had 1 of them in there. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by coaching wise. And we all know Steve Nash is not coaching that. Them assistant coaches are coaching that team. You already know
obviously that's what happens when you have a first-year coach. I mean, he's not going to have everything down pat, but let's not forget that he was a phenomenal point guard and he was running his team on the floor at the time.
That's a point guard. He ain't on the floor right now. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is this: Steve Kerr, got to take my hat off to him, because with all the stuff he done went through with the Warriors after their dynasty. He kept that team intact. They didn't look good last year. Everybody thought they was going to look worse this year, but he's proven that point. They in that play-in tournament. They're a dangerous team, and if I was the Lakers, I would not take them lightly at all.
I mean, if anything, they put the league on notice. Let's just be honest. They have put the league on notice. Well, Curry put the league on notice. Just off these last 3 months, especially, is when he really kicked it into gear these last 3 months. But I think it proved. I think that this year just kind of just restated how good of a coach Steve Kerr was. I mean, obviously you have to be some type of coach to lead your team to an NBA Finals, no matter who is on that team, because we know that you can have whoever on your team, but at some point in time, it's going to have to be some coaching to correlate that team to have some chemistry together. That's just my only point. Now I feel like Steve Kerr did have it a bit easy with the amount of stars that he had, especially when they're all gelling together. That just makes your job easier. It's that just makes the job easier when you have a team that correlates, and that's in any workplace. You don't have to do too much when everybody knows their role, when everybody kind of does that. But that starts also in the off season with kind of fueling your team and kind of building that chemistry. So it also has to be some chemistry there and some coaching done there to those guys.
Well, hold on. Let me cut you off. There's something you said. Because we're not going to give him all this credit now. We're definitely not going to give Steve Kerr all the credit because the chemistry and everything was already there. Everything was already put together.
Saying, okay.
Hold on. I'm saying you got to give Mark Jackson some props and some credit for that because Steve Kerr inherited a good team already. Mark Jackson put the foundation down there. Steve Kerr just released them. He just released the monsters and let them know. You go out there and shoot as many threes as y'all want. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? That's all he did was release them. But Mark Jackson had that foundation already laid for him.
Let me get something out though? With Mark Jackson, the only thing was that he was a first round, second round coach. He couldn't get his team to the Western Conference Finals. Something had to be done. The next year they got over the hump with that same team. They just had a couple additions off the bench. But all I'm saying is that coaching still had to be done there. This team was a team that couldn't get past the first round for a while. So my thing is, coaching had to be done there. I know that Mark Jackson led the foundation and built the foundation, but coaching and just leadership had to be put into that for those guys to get over the hump of the first and second round to make it to the Western Conference Finals and have that phenomenal season as they did in 2015. That's just all I have to say about it. I mean, he led the foundation, but you have to have a great coach to lead you over the hump. Am I wrong or am I right?
The only thing the coach did, which was Steve Kerr, was release them. He allowed them to shoot as many threes as they want. Well, Mark Jackson wasn't doing that.
Okay, well, we can date this back to any coach.
Steve Kerr came in there and said, be y'all, do what y'all do best. That's what y'all do. And that's what happened. When he released them and they started shooting all them threes, all of a sudden, here we go. That's what basically came in there, changed the NBA. But what is Steve Kerr? You made a reference that Nash was a what?
Point guard.
Steve Kerr was a what?
Shooting guard.
Point guard. He was not a shooting guard.
Oh, he was my bad. Well, I looked at him more as
he played point guard for the Bulls because Michael Jordan was the shooting guard. So he played point guard for the Bulls. He started point guard after John Paxson. Okay, he was the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls. So he know how to run the thing. What did he do for the Bulls? He sat in the corner all day, waited for them to pass in the ball, shot them threes left and right. So that's what he's looking for when he looked for Steph, when he looked for Thompson.
I don't think that was the only thing. I think that it was more so of that when Mark Jackson, Curry and him was moving off the ball. But the way that Kerr had the off ball and the motion to bring along Curry and Klay Thompson game was just phenomenal. When you think about the amount of screens and the amount of rotations that some teams had to do or mix up, I think that it was just beautiful to see how they move without the ball. And I think that's something that Kerr expanded
I'm gonna come with you once
Jackson
again. Hold on. I'm gonna come with you one more. I'm gonna come with you one more time. Who is his coach in Chicago?
Phil Jackson.
Who was his coach in San Antonio?
Popovich, Greg Popovich.
Learn from the best. He learned from
Yeah.
the best. That's what I'm saying. Because some of the schemes that he was running was the same schemes that he was running with the Bulls that freed him up to make them jump shots. He used the exact same scheme, and that's what kept freeing up Curry, kept freeing up Thompson. I'm telling you, if you watched it, you will see some of the same schemes that Phil Jackson was running, he was running. Some of the same schemes that Popovich was running, he was running. That's where he get it from. So I was saying that's good. I give him his props this year. Definitely give him his props this year.
But why wouldn't you give him them props from the last years? Because obviously, this is all I'm saying, right? If we go back and trace it in time, right? Coaches get replaced, right? And next year we see a different offenses from certain teams. Let's just go back to Phil Jackson because that is what you relate to most being a Chicago Bulls fan. Doug Collins, right? He got fired. Phil Jackson came in. All of a sudden, the Bulls found a way to get over the hump. They win the NBA championship.
Well, they would have got over the hump with Doug Collins, but you know.
I mean, they didn't get over the hump though.
Yeah,
but they would have. But when was the question? That could have been 2 or 3 years from on down the line.
No, it would have been that same year that Phil Jackson stepped up. Because think about this: who was Doug Collins' assistant coach?
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson. What was the reason why Doug Collins got fired? He didn't get fired because of the team. He didn't get fired because the team couldn't get over the hump. He got fired because he was messing around with the owner's daughter. That's why he got fired. He got fired for something personal. Other than that, he probably would have been still their coach. And they would have got over the hump because they was all running the same scheme.
Yeah.
Doug Collins started it, Phil Jackson perfected it, and they won championship.
Well, you can say that. You can say that. But all I'm saying is Doug Collins didn't get it done. No matter which way we flip it, he didn't get it done. It may be in a different reality. But I'm saying that you still have to give Steve Kerr his credit. And I can see where you're coming from, where this is where it's been the most obstacles. Being that I'm saying if, because they haven't made the playoffs yet, if they make the playoffs, you see what I'm saying? This would be his most challenging season. So we'll just have to see. I think it's just I'm trying to find the right word, but it's just an embodiment of how great of a coach I'm not a Warriors fanatic like that, but he's still a great coach and he will go down as one. It just shows how great of a coach he is. It just restated why the Warriors have been great these past years, even though they have just reached the 7th or 8th. Well, the 8th seed currently. It's just I'm trying to find the right words, but it just shows that how good he is and how great this team is behind Steph Curry. But
well, they weren't good last year, but okay.
Yeah, I mean they weren't good, but at the same time, Steph Curry was injured though. Let's just be honest. I mean, we stack anybody with those we put anybody in that circumstance. I don't think nobody is coming and making the playoffs with that Warriors team from last year. Let's just be honest.
Durant, he making it.
No, I'm talking about coach.
Oh, you
if we put any coach with that Warriors team with Steph injured, I don't think anybody's doing that. Name me a coach that's doing it.
Nobody thought they were doing it this year. He was hurt this year.
Yeah, but when he got back, he went beast mode.
So I'm just saying, I mean, it's possible. It could be done. I think the rest of the players just bought into Steph Curry. That's what it was. They bought into it. He made them believe that they can make it to the playoffs, and they on their way of doing it. All they got to do now is eliminate the Lakers, go on to the next step.